Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third open source Silicon stream. I was thinking about going to get a haircut, but then I decided, no, I'm going to stream instead. Get a haircut later. Got a hat, though. Might wear that if I feel my hair is too outrageous. Reply in the comments with photos of your hair. So, last time we streamed about, we looked at the 555 timer, which was cool. We got that working. And we also did a little look at some software-defined radio stuff. And this is a regular stream. We're going to be 5 o'clock European time on Mondays and starting next week as well. Feel free to ask questions or comments in the chat. Let me know if there's any problems. Last week I managed to mute myself and didn't realize until someone told me in the chat. So it's cool to have your involvement. And if you do want to get further involved, then join the mailing list. Sign up for my mailing list. Go to tinytapeout.com if you want to check out previous chips, things like that. You can join our Discord, the public Discord on tinytapeout.com. And if you want to find out more about my courses and join my mailing list, then go to 0to86course.com. So let's start off as usual with a little bit of news. So Tiny Tapeout 6 is shipped, and we normally wait until about 80% of people have received their boards before we do the bring-up party. And the bring-up party is scheduled for tomorrow. So it's mostly for people who submitted to Tiny Tapeout 6. But if you want to join anyway, I'm going to just drop the link to the sign-up link in the chat. We generally don't stream them live. We record them as a kind of a registered stream. You can register to join, and then we do like an edit before we publish it, because some people don't want to go live, which I understand. So here's the sign-up link. I'll drop that in the, put that here as a banner. And maybe put this in the comments as well. Haircut can wait. Hi, Jürgen. Just having a chat with Conrad, who lives in Denmark. And I'm going to be visiting, lives in Sweden, but lives in Malmo, super close. And I'm going to be in Denmark for a Tiny Tapeout workshop soon. So that's maybe the next news. Let me get my screen up. Yeah, so if you want to join the Tiny Tapeout Bring Out Party, it's tomorrow, 6 p.m. Europe time. So Tiny Tapeout 7, 75% shipped, 27% delivered. So we'll have a Tiny Tapeout 7 demo party soon as well. And if you submitted to Tiny Tapeout 7, but you haven't given your address, you need to do that. You can do that on the orders page of Tiny Tapeout, the app, and you should also have received an email. Otherwise, you can contact us on the Discord. I've got the Discord again here as well. Join the Tiny Tapeout Discord here. I thought it'd be quite fun to just have a look at Tiny Tapeout in news, by which I mean just LinkedIn. That's my kind of preferred channel at the moment. I'm kind of withdrawing from Twitter and spending more time on LinkedIn and Blue Sky. So we got a post from Meinhardt talking about Tiny Tapeout 6 with Phasey RV. Adonai recently posted a little interesting video. I'm not totally sure what he's showing here yet, but he's made an accelerator for floating point numbers, I think. Or is it? No, a nonlinear oscillator. And then he's reading and writing the data and showing that on this screen here. As mentioned, Tiny Tapeout workshop, 15th of February in Denmark. If you want to register, join now. Thanks to the sponsors for us on this. The sponsors are giving everybody a free slot on Tiny Tapeout 10. Tiny Tapeout 10 is open now. If you want to get involved, there's 39 days left. 30% of the cheap PCBs have been sold. Cheap PCBs are only $100 thanks to sponsorship through eFabless. Thanks eFabless for sponsoring. And they normally all sell out. So if you want a cheap PCB, you want to order one of them quickly. You don't need to have your design fully finished to reserve one of those early bird prices, but you do need to do it, otherwise they'll sell out. Okay, do we have anything more to show on LinkedIn? Oh yeah, this is funny. Don't know if the audio comes through. Don't know if you can hear, you've been rickrolled there, Rick Astley on a chip. Not the first time that Rick Astley's been on Tiny Tapeout. A bit loony. Famously did a GIF, encoded a GIF of Rick Astley, but now we've got the music as well. So thanks to Qubit Bytes for posting that. And then, yeah, someone else has reposted that we've got the demo scene competition up. So if you want to enter the Tiny Tapeout demo scene, that is open at the moment. And we've got these categories here, including a new game category. And the rules is basically make the most impressive demo scene on the maximum space is 2 tiles of Tiny Tapeout 10 area. So what else have we got? Last week I showed a bit of software defined radio, and interestingly, was it here? Yes, Anish showed off. I didn't realize, but Anish had put on Tiny Whisper, which is a WSPR beacon that transmits weak signal propagation reporter radio signals. So maybe I'm going to check this out as well. I've asked Anish for a bit more information on how to get this set up and running, but he was able to transmit and receive with an SDR. So that's a cool radio project that's actually designed for Tiny Tapeout. So one of my goals for 2025 is to have some more radio. So it'd be good to have a receiver. I don't know how hard a receiver would be for Whisper. Rohan is asking about getting Tiny Tapeout boards. You have to make an order as the shuttle is open. And if you want an old one, you need to wait until we've shipped all of the bought ones, because often we're very close to the limit of having enough chips. And almost always some chips get lost in transit and we need a few spare. So we have to wait until all the shipping has been properly completed until we can sell any leftovers. But Rohan and I can check out to see if we have any leftovers and get back to you. But we definitely won't be selling any until Tiny Tapeout 7 has fully shipped. So that'll be like probably in a month or so. Okay, and Alexander Mordvintsev has been continuing to work on his VGA circuit simulator. So I showed this off a few times before, but now we've got some color in here. I'm not actually totally sure what the color stuff is doing. This is Ray's drop demo scene from Tiny Tapeout 8. So if you run it at full speed, it's going to draw out drop there. That will go on the VGA screen. Super cool to see that. And also I'm very happy to see, let me just reload this with my clock. So my clock's involved here as well. There it goes, down here. I think it looked a little bit better before, actually. It looks like the lines are spaced a bit wider. But you can see this happening at the bottom here is part of my clock. Sylvan's saying that the demos, the TT7 is already in the store. So I'm wrong. Thanks, Sylvan. Although I don't see... Oh, yeah, there it is. 19 available. Okay, so I'm wrong. I'll paste a link to that in the chat. All right, yes. So the first thing I was going to look at today on the stream was Rebel Mike's Tiny QV, which was taped out on Tiny Tapeout 6. RISC-V SoC, implementing the RV32 instruction set. Looks like it's 4 tiles. And we need to use the pmod QSBI pmod, which I've got one of here. And this is a very nicely documented design. And we've got this here for getting GCC and the SDK set up so we can build Bruno's donut, and then we're going to flash that and see if we can see that happening. So that's the plan to do right now. Mike's maybe going to join the stream in a bit. So if we get stuck, hopefully he'll be able to help us out. And then my plan for later on is I've got a couple of designs I want, older designs of mine I want to get on Tiny Tapeout 10. So I will submit some older designs onto Tiny Tapeout 10. All right, so one thing I've already figured out is I need a newer version of Ubuntu. This didn't work. I did a little test, but I checked it's going to work on the Tiny Tapeout VM. So we're going to use that. Okay, so I need to download this. I've already got it. And I need the Tiny QV. Maybe I'll just come over here. The SDK. All right. Oh, it's not been. Read the error messages. Okay. Okay, so I've got the start.o. And now I can try building this donut. Ooh, got donut.hex. That's good. That was easier than I thought. And we've got a donut.bin, do we? Yes. Let's just have a look at this make file. I'm not a super up know what I'm doing with RISC-V. So this architecture, RV32, I understand that, like 32-bit RISC-V. The ECZCB, do they all stand for different things? Like, does Z stand for compressed instructions? Do people watching know? Maybe you can let me know in the comments what ECZCB means. In the meantime, now I'm going to run this with a tiny... Okay, so let's try running this through the VM. I've not done this before. So I'm going to try to connect to a Tiny Tapeout 6. Do I have Chrome here? No, right. So I'll copy this back over to my computer then in order to flash it. Sylvan's saying reduced register, C is compressed, ZCB is extension. Okay, Mike's also said that because I had a RISC-V GCC already installed that I used for Caravel. And Caravel is for people that don't know, is like the RISC-V that comes with the eFabless chip ignite default option. So I can compile stuff for that, which I think is using LiteX and a RISC-V. Can't remember it off the top of my head now, which one it is. Dang. Does people in the comments know which RISC-V that is? I should know this. Caravel RISC-V. Vex RISC-V, yeah, of course, Charles Papon. But because Mike's RISC-V processor has some custom commands, he needs his own custom RISC-V build. So mine didn't work. So that's why I'm using his. I tried to install it on my Ubuntu. My Ubuntu is too old with an old glibc, so that's why I'm on the VM. Okay, so now I've got to work out how to copy this across because this never seems to work for me. Let me just try it. And it's not there. It's in donut.bin. Is this the right? Yeah. Okay, donut.bin. So copy this. See if I can paste it. No. I don't know why that doesn't work. It never works. I always have it enabled. So I think I have to do this with a shared folder instead. Home mat. Home TT user share. Do I have that mounted? Yes, but I can't see inside it. Sudo share. Okay, so I can copy it there. Roast my terrible VM skills in the comments. So now I should have. Yes, donut.bin. Okay, so now all I need is a Tiny Tapeout 6 board, which I have here. Let me just hold this up to the screen momentarily. So this is our beautiful Tiny Tapeout 6 board. And I've got a little PMod in there with flash and PS RAM. So that's plugged into the bidirectional port. So what I need to do is plug this in here. Ah, look at this. Great user experience. Mike, congratulations. I didn't actually realize we got a built-in firmware. Let's try the hello world. Flash and run. Verification failed. Let's see if I'm missing a step here. Oxycada is asking, can we put mixed signal designs on Tiny Tapeout 10? Yes, the answer is yes. Everything beyond Tiny Tapeout 6 supports mixed signal designs. And the best place to probably get the overview on that is on the tinytapeout.com website, tech specs, analog specs. So this is going to give you the specs, the maximum ratings and some instructions on getting started and the template repo. And then on the Discord, we've got a specific analog questions list. So if you get stuck, ask in the analog there. All right. So I don't know. Thing is, I don't know what to expect here, really. I guess probably one thing I need to do is although this flash ID 0000 doesn't seem particularly great. Second, I've got a Tiny Tapeout 7 on the other bench, but let me try it with the flash pulled out. Okay, so that's not great, I don't think. I'm guessing that this will this automatically, although for flashing, I guess I don't, it doesn't matter what's on the ASIC. Oh, damn it. I've got board number 7 plugged in. Okay, that's 5. Sylvan's asking if the firmware is up to that board firmware is up to date. That's another good question. Whoa! Just got a shock there from the speakers. Well, what did Flummer say? Yes. Okay, so now I've got the tiny. You'd think I would know. So this is Tiny Tapeout 6, and I got that header soldered on from last time for doing the 555 experimentation. So let's just check. I think that I'm on 2.0.0, so that's not the most up-to-date firmware. So maybe I'll just show you how we do this. So you'd basically just there's a little button here on the side there. It says boot on it. So you unplug this, you press this down, you plug that back in, and you let go of the finger, and then over here RP2 has been detected, and then we can just I think here I should have so we're on 2.8.3, so I can just drag that straight across, and we get a little thing up here showing. So that's fantastic work by Uri and Pat, mostly, to get that working. Extremely easy upgrade process. And the firmware is GitHub Tiny Tapeout SDK MicroPython firmware, and it's got a GitHub action on it, of course. So when we push with the right tag, it builds us the UF2 file in there, and I can just copy and paste that. So that is now finished. I can see it's running the test program again. So I'll connect again, and this time I've got 2.03, and it's detected Tiny Tapeout 6, so that's good. Rohan is saying, is this RP2040? It's the 2040. We don't have Caravel since Tiny Tapeout 5, I want to say. So if you go to the chips page and have a look at the chip map, Tiny Tapeout 6 has a longer aspect ratio, because this at the bottom we have Caravel, and on 6 you see it gets quite a lot longer, and like the aspect ratio changes. So that space at the bottom, we no longer have Caravel, and instead we put bigger designs on. All right, so now I've got Tiny Tapeout 6 on here. Let's go back to Michael's flasher. Still detecting all zeros for the flash ID. Let's try and flash and run anyway. Still verification failed. So I'm not totally I'm not really sure about. I guess that this is a fork from Uri's flasher, which we have used. Let me disconnect here and try connecting here. Flash ID not detected. That's a bad sign. Oh, I found my next stupid mistake. That's the joy of the stream. Can anyone see my deliberate error? Yeah, Andy's got it. Wrong port. Right, now it's on the bidirectional. Let's try again. Realize my screen has stopped sharing. I don't know why that is. All right, and now I've got the flash ID. So now I've got the right board and the flash plugged into the right socket. See, if I'm running into all the problems. If you were a beginner, you're not going to have it any worse than this, are you? All right. Okay, cool. Flash is detected. Hello world, flash and run. There we go. Hooray. Digits of pi. Flash and run. Excellent. All right. This is cool. Could have done this in 5 minutes if I'd have used the right board and plugged the dang Pmod in the correct slot. So now let's try our custom. Where did I put that? That's in home donuts.bin flash and run. Yes. Cool. Now, I'm trying to remember what Mike was telling me about these 8 megahertz, because I think it's running at 32 megahertz. Andy Sloan's another donut fan. I think, yeah, because it's running at 32 megahertz, but it's maybe got like a reduced instruction size or something. So it takes 4 cycles to run a normal instruction. I can't remember. Mike might be joining us later, so he can answer any questions. But that's great. Do we have any other things in here that we want to try? Any requests from the audience? I don't have the LCD, unfortunately. What's this 7 seg? So load a bunch of data and then flash it to the output, it looks like, with a delay. So that's probably going to show us something on the 7 segments. So let's try that. 7.hex. Let's try this one. Flash and run. Okay, and Sylvan's saying compressed to 16 bits per instruction, takes 4 cycles to fetch that though through QSPI. So that's why it's running slower. And this looks like it has not worked. Let's try that again. Custom. Okay, here we go. We've got something now on the little on the segments. Nice little animation there. Great. So I think we can call that a success. Good job, Mike. Any requests from the audience? Thomas Flummer is saying that's an output on the board. Yeah, so those outputs just connect directly to the 7 segment we've got permanently connected to the dev kit on the board. Okay. So if there's no more requests for things to look at on TinyQV, then we'll put that to one side, and I think we'll move on to submitting one of my older designs onto Tiny Tapeout 10. So I've got my clock and I've got my RGB mixer. But I don't have any of my analog projects on there yet. So that's one thing that we could do. We could submit, because there's a couple ones that I want to update, which I probably won't do right now, but I can at least get the old design submitted. And what did I have on? Had my ring oscillators. I definitely want to put my 3.3 volts R2R DAC on again. Looks like I didn't even need to do anything. I just was able to resubmit that. Sylvan, if you're still hanging around, do I need to update anything from the Tiny Tapeout 8 analog, or should this just work again? I guess I can update my workflows, see if they're any different. And our guides, tech specs. It's all the same, okay. So we've got docs. So let me make sure I got this. R2R DAC 3.3 volts. So just a reminder, or for people that have not seen this before, this is a simple R2R DAC. One upgrade that I did since the first time I did it was instead of having resistors of 2R and 1R and 2R and 1R, I'm using the same single size resistor to get better matching. Let's see. I should be able to find that pretty easily. That's on Tiny Tapeout 6, I think. Thanks, Sylvan. If I go silent or stop sharing my screen, it's because I'm still like very new to this whole streaming thing. So, constantly getting it wrong. So this was the 8-bit R2R DAC that I submitted on Tiny Tapeout 6. So on the bottom here, you've got the 1R, and then the top twice as long as the 2R. But the problem with that is you don't get perfect matching because things change over the wafer. So things can be slightly thicker or thinner, or longer or shorter. That changes the resistances. And also the way lithography works, you ideally want everything to be all the same, to be perfectly matched. So what I did for this one, so here's the schematic. I changed it so everything is using the same size resistor. And if I go to the layout, this is the digital controller that generates a sawtooth, and then this is the R2R layout. So the resistors at the end are dummies, and that's a technique used to help with matching. And then all of these ones in the middle are the resistors used for the DAC. And then the other thing that I did was this is a 3.3 volts, because between 6 and 7, Sylvan upgraded our analog muxes to use 3.3 volts if you want to. So I've got an extra power stripe here that takes the 3.3 volts, and then these all basically convert the 1.8 volts from the digital block to 3.3 volts that drives the R2R block that comes out here. So that, and I want to put this on Tiny Tapeout 10. So Sylvan says it's exactly the same, but what I'm going to do is just check that the workflows are fine. So docs workflow on this is here, and let's check out V4 recursive docs at TT10. So I can change this to 10. And then let's take a look at the GDS action. Check out 4. Hey BitLooney, good to see you on the stream. BitLooney is the source of inspiration for me doing these streams. So if you enjoy the streams, give Looney a thumbs up. Hi Mike. So I should have done this the other way around. I should have started off with submitting my my design, but you can go back in time and watch your successfully ran your RISC-V and got the donuts and the 7-segment display working super. Once I used the right demo board and plugged the flash into the right port, it all worked fine. So now I'm just doing this updating a Tiny Tapeout 8 design to 10. I wonder if I need this runs on. May as well change them. See what happens when I push that to the repo. Okay, actions are running. BitLooney says, do you ever think about shared DAX across all designs or even other common peripherals? Yeah, it's come up quite a few times. And I think probably the most requested is shared memory, because memory is uses up a lot of space and everyone wants it. But the problem is the routing is that you end up needing to do a lot of routing if you want multiple designs to be able to access it. And it's kind of that classic trade-off of simplicity versus, we could add and add and add and add, but we're wanting to try to make things simple and good. So that's kind of why we don't have any like shared infrastructure on Tiny Tapeout. I don't know if I've missed something. Sylvan, maybe you've got another answer for that. All right, these are all still running. Let's check what's going on the GDS one. For people that have not done analog or mixed signal designs before, the GDS action is way more simple. I think it isn't. We just did see it there, didn't we? We saw it over here. It basically just copies the GDS in the left to the right place, runs the pre-check, and then does the viewer. So it doesn't. It's unlike the digital one where it has to like install the PDK, install OpenLane, run OpenLane, and run the tests and so forth, because everything is way more manual for the mixed signal stuff. Yeah. So Sylvan is saying that, it's about wires. It's like if you wanted a 32-bit wide memory, you're going to need like the address and then the data, and you're going to need to be able to read it and to write it. So you quickly get up into hundreds of pins. And then, the other thing is you need to be able to use that. You need to know how long things take, and that depends where the modules are. So what we instead do is like on Tiny Tapeout 9, you take a look at a design like Ray's 2600. He includes the ROMs for the games inside the design. So that's kind of what we're expecting. So although Open RAM is too big to fit in Tiny Tapeout at the moment, we are considering enabling 4-high tiles for more space. And also Sylvan is working on a super top secret project to make a SNES-RAM, but he's working on the ROMs at the moment. And Mike's saying for like shared peripherals, and this is something also that we suggested to do inside like the 0 to ASIC course, was there was a question about if I want to get an internship as a company, what's a good project? And I asked Carsten Wolf and Thomas Parry, who are both working in the industry, and they both said something very similar, which was a RISC-V peripheral would be a good choice. So one of the ideas we're looking at is people get together in a team and work on a group project, and that's something I really would love to encourage and to see more of, is people doing more combined projects together. So if you're interested in getting involved in a project like that, just say hi on the Tiny Tapeout 10 on the Tiny Tapeout Discord, and let us know. Just a reminder, you can join the Discord really easily. We've got a short link from the website /Discord. And yeah, get involved in a team and make that happen. Share the space. I'm so keen to see that happen. I'd also be happy to sponsor like tiles on that to make it cheaper for a group doing it. So consider it. All right. Where are we at with the publishing? Okay. The GDS is run and the viewer is here. So I think we still got the same bug with the viewer. So because these blocks are repeated and they're the same every time, they end up being missing from the viewer. So we don't get to see them all. But when you look at the render, you see them all. So this is the layout. But if you look at the 3D viewer, they're going to be missing. I think Maximo is working on a new viewer at the moment. Actually, this was also the first time I did multi-fingered MOSFETs. So if you see here, these MOSFETs here, this like output, the bigger output driver, it's got these 3 fingers here to make this stronger drive strength to drive the R2 RDAC. So that's looking good. Viewers, okay, we need to wait on the pre-check to complete before we can submit this. And the pre-check, oh, it looks like that's just gone green. That runs the DRC. And what else have we got? The docs. That's taken quite a while. 7 minutes. Can't remember if the docs need to be done to be able to resubmit this. Let's find out. Okay, so for people that haven't seen this before, you can submit your design on the shuttle. So we've been assigned space, but it's not included yet. So if you do nothing, we will attempt, like just before tape out, we will attempt to take the latest version and include it anyway. But this screen basically allows you to submit a specific version that we then make sure that we use. And then if you update later, you can submit a new version. So one thing I'm thinking of doing for my design is change this block here, which I'd made bigger than I needed. And I don't know if this is possible, but try to fit in a Cordic generator so I can make a nice sine wave, a digitally generated sine wave, or just like maybe some other types of waveforms, because at the moment this only does a sawtooth waveform. But right now I'll try and submit a revision, and then I'll come back after I've done an update and resubmit it. So that looks good. So yes. So that then creates a commit on the Tiny Tapeout 10 repository. So all of this is built in the open. It's created a pull request that will then add this into the project. And Uri is normally the person that merges the pull requests. And then once it's been merged, if I come back to here, I can see now this has been submitted. And I can also view all the projects on Tiny Tapeout 10. So here we go. So the dark purple ones have been submitted. These ones where people have reserved space, but they haven't pulled the trigger on a specific GitHub action yet. Yeah, Sylvan's saying also add a buffer at the end so it can drive stronger, make a high impedance input and a low impedance output to be able to make it less affected by what it's plugged into. Oh, and Mike is saying this one is 6-tile version of TinyQV. What have you added to it, Mike? Oh yeah, Bitloon is saying make the input a MIDI note number. That's a good idea. Make it into a little synthesizer. I like it. That's a nice idea. So that is now there, I guess. I know that's oscillating bones. Oh, it's because so it won't get added until that pull request is merged, and then we'll see it on the chip map. And Mike is saying it's a work in progress, PWM support and a timer interrupts. Nice. And also the new game controller PMod. So we've got the Tiny Tapeout demo scene competition is happening, and one of the new categories is game. And we've got a game PMod that Pat has been working on. So the specification for that should be published soon. Totavidus is saying, how can I make a reservation? Totavidus, you're on the 0 to ASIC course, so you get a tile as part of your ticket. So you can just ask me for a coupon when you're ready to submit. The lower price ticket just gets you the tile. The higher price ticket gets you the board as well. And if you've got the low price ticket and you want to reserve a board, then you can do that with pre-purchase space, or you can pre-purchase either way. So you can reserve a number of tiles and a number of PCBs and then check that out. And you save $150 if you get one of the early bird ones, thanks to sponsorship from eFabulous. So that's good. I've submitted now on Tiny Tapeout 10, one of my analog designs. Any last questions or comments from anybody? So we're getting up to the top of the hour. Otherwise, thanks for joining. Next week, same time, same place. And yeah, it helps to subscribe to the channel, sign up to the mailing list. Thanks, Jassy. Jassy's saying he loves my work. Thank you, Jassy. A lot of people are involved. So got a lot of people to thank to make this work. Looney says, thanks for the stream. Bye. And yes, if you're testing and if you've got stuff coming on Tiny Tapeout 6 or 7, share your results on social media, hashtag it Tiny Tapeout, and then I'll be able to find it easily next time and I'll show it on the stream next time. So yeah, use the hashtag Tiny Tapeout. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for joining. And I'll see you next time. And make sure you type out something on Tiny Tapeout 10. And I look forward to seeing what you make on your first ASIC. Thanks for joining.